Hi friends, welcome to our online version of our 3 to 4-year-olds program called Little Sparks, presented to you by the Long Island Explorium. We hope through our programs to create the next generation of problem solvers and thinkers. So we hope you enjoy this 3-week video series where we are going to learn about the seasons, nature, and have so much fun at the same time. So let's begin. This month is April. And I don't know if you know this, but April is known as Citizen Science Month. So we are all citizens here, and we are all going to be scientists this month. It also happens to be the month where we have Earth Day on April 22nd. So with all of this wonderful stuff going on, we figured that we would do 3 great projects that happen to be about science and happen to be about nature. So let's get started. The activity that we are going today is called Signs of Spring. So I wanted to show you a little picture and something really funny that I brought in here. But first question I have for you before I show you any pictures. How many seasons are there? Do you know? There are 4 seasons, and they're all very different from each other. But how do they become so different from each other? How do the seasons change?
So let's take a closer look. We can pretend that this little light bulb here is the sun shining away. Bing! And we can pretend that this little potato here is planet Earth, which we are living on. So we are about here, and every day the Earth spins around, giving us daytime when we're on the sunny side and nighttime when we're on the dark side. But as well as spinning around, our little planet also goes around and around the sun once every year. And this is what makes the seasons. Because our planet is not actually pointed just straight up, we're kind of on a little tilt, just like so. So when we are just about here, where that sunny side is touching or pointing towards the sun, that is when we have summertime. The light is brighter and the days are warmer. But when our planet moves all the way around to the other side, and we are living on that darker side of the sun, then the days are shorter and colder, and you guessed it, it's winter time. But we always come back around to the beginning, and it's summer again.
So I'll show you a picture of the seasons, and let's talk about what we know from each season. In fact, we are going to use a brand new word. Watch my mouth and then you copy it. Observation. You say it. Observation. When we observe something, when we have an observation, that's when we notice something. Maybe we see it, maybe we smell it, maybe we feel it, hear it, or even taste it, but we notice something. So, how about this? Summertime. What do we observe? What do we notice in summertime? Well, I notice that it's warmer weather on my skin, warmer air. I notice that it's super, super sunny out and hot. I notice that it's a good weather to go to the beach because the water is not that cold. And I can probably hear lots of birds chirping, right? Well, that's summer. After summer comes fall. What do we notice happens to the trees in the fall? Well, the leaves change color, and sometimes they fall off the tree completely. The weather starts to get a little chillier on our skin. We have to wear our jackets. After fall comes winter, and sometimes there's not a single leaf on a tree at all. Sometimes it snows and it's very, very cold out, and even if it's not snowy, we notice that the grass is not very bright. But after winter comes the moment we've been waiting for that we are having right now, springtime. So how do we know when spring is here? Well, scientists observe that the green leaves come back to trees. Some trees even grow flowers, and there's things blooming in the grass. When I went outside today, I heard some birds chirping, and I smelled some flowers blooming next to my front door. That's what I observed. But do I just observe those things and forget about them? No. The best thing to do is draw a picture of them so you remember what you can notice and observe when spring is happening. So that's where our craft comes in today. You guys ready to make something? Okay, today we are making our very own books, nature logbooks. Logbooks are where scientists draw pictures and write down everything that they are observing. So I'm going to do this for the month, and I hope that you will too. Let me show you how to make it. You're going to think this is very funny, but for the cover of my nature logbook, I used, what do you see in the corner there? A pizza box. I had this pizza last night, so I cut up some pieces of it, and I made the cover of my nature logbook. Grown-ups, you can use a hole puncher for this, or if you don't have a hole puncher strong enough, you can even use a corkscrew or something that can poke holes. Okay, so a little cardboard for the cover. You'll also need tiny pieces of paper. Grown-ups, you can help little ones cut that out into pieces that match the cover size. You're going to need some string to loop through those holes. And if you don't have string or a hole puncher, you can use a stapler, of course, but I like it to be really great looking with the string. I'm even going to add a few beads onto the end of my string. And besides that, you're going to need some markers so that you can fill in all of the information in your logbook. Okay, let's get started. Now, I showed you how I made the cover already. I cut it out from a pizza box. But these little pieces of paper, I used a really cool trick because I don't have a hole puncher at home. I had to use scissors. So grown-ups, let me show you my really cool trick. I take the edge of the paper and I fold it in half. Just a teeny weeny bit, okay? Then I take some scissors and I cut 2 lines pointing up that make a triangle, 2 lines pointing up that make a triangle here, here, and here. I shake out the little pieces that I cut, and then I have 4 diamond-shaped holes that are really close to these holes. It doesn't matter if your holes are not perfectly lined up because we're going to sew these and they're really going to look great and very handmade. Okay, next little trick I want to show you is if you're using a very fuzzy piece of yarn and the end is too fluffy, you can use a piece of tape to roll over the edge of the yarn just like a shoelace has. So I'm doing that to both of my ends of yarn. Okay, let's get started putting our books together. Here's what you're going to do. Take your front cover, then take all of your papers and put them right behind it. Then take your back cover and put it right behind that so we have a little sandwich. Good? Okay, then we're going to need our piece of yarn. Your piece of yarn or string should, if you fold it in half, should be able to wrap around your book 2 times. So 1, 2. That's long enough. If you want to make it longer, that's fine too. Here's how we stitch it up. We grab our handy dandy piece of tape and we start at the very, very bottom corner. what we are going to do is take our little piece of tape and put it just through the front cover of the book. Through here and out the other side. Good. We're going to pull, 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 pull until this much string is hanging out of the front cover. So this is about, maybe it's the length of a kid's hand, right? This is the length of my hand. We'll pull it until it's the length of a kid's hand, okay? 3 or 4 inches maybe. Then we continue. We take our long, long end of string and we put it just through the bottom hole on the pages. Oop, on the pages. We pop it right through and pull it through the other side. Good. Then the last part is, of course, to put it through the back cover. Give it a pull. And look, guys, we did our first hole. Nice. Now make sure you still have that little bit hanging out of the front. Now we're going to just do our next 3 holes. So instead of going through the front cover now, I can go through the back cover or I can continue. I'm going to continue through the front cover because I think it looks much better that way, but it's up to you. So we go through the front cover again. Then who remembers what we do next? We go through the pages. Whoop. There we go. Through the pages. Then through the back cover of this silly pizza box. And then pull. Now you're going to notice there's a loop hanging. Make sure it doesn't get caught on that little string. See how I'm holding this sideways like a sandwich? Watch. No more loop. It's gone, and I still have my little tail at the end. Okay, I'm going to pull tight and make sure that my little tail is sticking out. Ready for the next hole. Back to the front cover. Right through the front cover hole here. Then right through the white pages. Then right through the back cover. Oh, this whole little hole of the back cover is stubborn. There we go. Through the back cover. Pull the loop. Make sure that little tail is still dangling. Oh, gone. And then the last one, we go through the front cover one last time. Through the front cover, through the white pages, and through the back cover. Little tail is still dangling. Loop is going away. Done. Now here's the part that you need a grown-up to help you with. Grown-ups, you will notice that this tail is at the very bottom, but our long tail is stuck at the very top. Well, what I like to do is take my extra long tail and go through these brand new loops that I just made, all the way down one by one to the very bottom and pull. That makes a nice little bookbinding edge there. Okay, pull everything super, super tight. Give it a good pull. And then we have to do the most important part, which is tie a knot. So if you feel like your grown-up is better at tying a knot, they can do it for you, or they can help you to tie a knot. So look, I have my super short string and my super long string. I'm going to pinch them together and give them a little knot at the end here. Perfect. Then the very last step is to snip them. So I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to leave just a little bit hanging and give one snip, and I'm done. If you guys have beads at home, like I have all of these colorful beads, you can add them on. I'm going to put 2 sunny yellow beads on. Woo. Oh, my string got fluffy already, my goodness. There we go. So beads can go on the end. You could put feathers on, just about anything, but always make sure that you have a knot there, okay? Then the last step, of course, is to get outside. You are going to open your logbook and you're going to draw pictures of everything that you see or hear or feel, anything like that. I can't wait to see you guys next week, and thank you so much for joining us today to make this nature logbook for Signs of Spring. We'll see you next time.